So now I'm on like hospital schedule, so I can't sleep anymore. They'd wake you up at like 7:30 to weigh you. So I'm awake, no one else is, and so I thought I might vlog about my last little bit of my day that I was there yesterday. I had more meetings after my CAT scan, which, by the way, because they inject you with contrast dye, I think it is, some people have really bizarre reactions. It's really rare, but some people get hives, which I have, but just not that bad. They did wake me up last night, though, and drove me nuts, but I'm okay. I don't even know if you could see them. Probably not on my arm there. Just a red patch. That's closest to the injection, but last night it was like my back, my face has it a bit. It's really strange. But it's funny, when they inject you, they call it, like, it's a really fast injection, so you have to have a specific IV and stuff. But they warn you that it's going to feel really warm, and for women, they get the sensation that they just peed. So they warned me that I did not pee. So that was nice, because they were right. It really felt that way. So there was that. I don't know, maybe men feel that too, but they specified women to me. So, and I met with 2 surgeons, and talking to surgeons is very different than talking to the psychologist, or even the sociologist, or the social worker, sorry, not sociologist. I spoke to the social worker, Paul, and it was awesome. He told me that there's a lot more financial help than I realized, but he did also suggest fundraising, because other people have done it, and it's been very helpful, because we do take a pretty big financial hit when doing this. So he suggested that, but there's more help with the medicine after, like they fought for this. So in the past 6 months it's changed, where you actually get a drug card. So all your pain meds and stuff is covered, and then the daily injections of blood thinner or whatever that you have to inject yourself for like 36 days, that actually just gets given to you. So I don't know what that's worth normally, but that's amazing that they do that. So that's pretty cool. There's other programs that I didn't know other than Preload that help out, because Preload's pretty much you put your own money in and then get it back. EI, you can apply for EI and get a little bit of help there. What else? If you're further away, like I'm under 200 kilometers away, but there is a travel reimbursement, I guess, if you're more than 200 kilometers away. So you can apply for that. They may ask anyway for me, just in case, because I'm like right around that, but they may go and say no, but who knows. But they fight for you. That's the point. If your medical coverage doesn't help you, they'll fight for you to have that help you, because my insurance that I'd been paying into said no, because it's an elective procedure. So I ended up canceling my insurance. But what if I hadn't done that? They may have given in, because they would have fought for me to do it. So but that's okay. There's other ways now. So I canceled it because it was one more bill. And mine, I don't even think I had the sick coverage. I had medical, accident is what I was covered for. So if I spent twice as much a month, I would have had the coverage for hospitalization due to illness. Anyway, so that was the social work meeting. Then I met with 2 surgeons. Actually, this is kind of the weird part. They didn't tell me much that I didn't already know, like, because I've really, really researched it. But the one interesting point that they made, they kind of equated the surgery in its severity for me. So, like, it is a really big surgery, obviously, but they actually said that it's on par with open heart surgery. So that's the risk involved. Now, that said, the odds are like 0.01 to 0.03, say, of donor death. They haven't had any there. They've done 500, I think, of these in like the liver department specifically. So their odds are great, but I mean, it's always for the one person that will happen to, your odds of survival are 0, right? So you just don't know. What's interesting though is that the odds are approximately 1 in 1,000, I believe, for the liver donor death, and then for kidney donation, which is the one area that everyone seems like nervous about for me, the odds for that are 1 in 10,000. So it's actually an easier procedure. And yeah, I just find that kind of ironic. So do your homework. If you're worried about me, do your homework, because I'm telling you, the liver regenerates, and yes, later in life, I'll have my full liver, but pretty much anyway. I don't know if everyone's different, right? But it's a very vascular organ, and the complication would be that when they're separating the two lobes, there's a main artery. Your gallbladder kind of sits on top of that, and they actually remove that during the surgery too. I asked why, and it's basically in the way. And I guess people don't really need gallbladders, but still, I've got everything. I've got tonsils, appendix, I've got pinkies, you know, all the things they say you don't need. So, oh no, I don't have wisdom teeth. They took those. So I don't know. I kind of liked, I wouldn't elect to just have that removed. But, so what they basically do is they use this water pick thing, and it cuts through the liver cells, but it doesn't cut through any blood vessels or anything like that. They have to actually manually separate those and close them off. So depending on, now they have different ways of doing this, and what they needed to do is look at my CAT scan and my MRI and actually see, because the MRI will show the volume of my liver, so like the actual size of it, so they'll tell me what I'm able to give, basically. I may only be able to give to a child because I'm a smaller frame or whatever, you know, you don't know. Some people, this is interesting too, some people say if they have a relative or whatever they are a match for, they actually have to diet if they're overweight, and they do something similar to isogenics, which I find kind of cool because I've already done it, but one man actually lost so much weight that his liver became too small to donate to his son. So you just don't know, right? The MRI will tell you. But basically the reason for that is that you can have fatty liver, and you can't donate fatty liver, basically. So another interesting point, I was talking, they go over all your health history and like what your habits are, if you drink, smoke, recreational drugs, anything like that. I don't do anything because most people would think I'm boring, but I just like being sober. I find it more fun. So, but what's interesting to me is that they mentioned, or he mentioned, sorry, the social worker mentioned that there have been donors that use marijuana, and that's okay because it doesn't actually hurt anything. The only thing they worry about with marijuana is the blood clots, because that can increase your risk. So I found that very interesting. So kind of cool. Just in case anyone's wondering what's more dangerous, alcohol is more dangerous. Like you don't know that already. Let's see, any other information I can just cram in here. There's a whole like laundry list of potential risks that are usually under 1%. And I think the highest risk, maybe a 3%, is needing a blood transfusion or something, and that gives you a 1 in 4 million chance of contracting AIDS because it's a blood transfusion, right? So that's a really small odd, but I mean, like they said, if you're that one, then your odds are 100%, right? So it wouldn't really matter what the statistic is. So anyway, oh, here you go. Here's the horror story. Waking up after. So basically the first day I'm going to be completely, it's not going to exist to me. So the next day basically you wake up and you're out of it. but you're going to be covered in tubes. One in your neck, one in your nose, down to your stomach. There's probably way more than I'm even remembering. IV, I'm sure. There's two little tubes that go into your stomach. Not fully into your stomach, but into your abdominal. And that's actually for local anesthetic. So they control pain that way, so you don't have to go all nuts on your morphine. And they do that because one of the donor deaths in the States, and like the highest risk of death basically always has to do with anesthetic or just over medicating on pain pills or pain meds. So they try to minimize your need for that. I was told not to get, when they asked me if I want an epidural, one surgeon said to say no, because there was a man in Japan that became paraplegic because he bled around his catheter for his epidural. So they're trying to minimize the risk for me. I don't need it. I'll have compression stockings because the surgery itself is like 5 or 6 hours depending, and you're at risk for blood clots. So that'll help. They put you on blood thinners. That's the injection that I do every day afterwards. But let's see here. What else? What other tubes? I'll have like an actual catheter, but it's like a day, and then I can get up and go to the washroom on myself, like not by myself. They'll help me because you have to like start walking and stuff again. But they want to get you moving as quick as possible to minimize the blood clot risk. So I have this like weird throat clearing need. Sorry. What else am I forgetting? Yeah, basically it's going to be all scary. Okay, and here's a big note that I didn't even know. But for visitors, they don't allow you to bring latex balloons or plants or flowers. And that is because, well, people have latex allergies, so that's kind of nice that they're doing that. But plants and flowers can actually introduce harmful bacteria into a very sensitive, like, it's the ACU, it's the acute care unit. It's one step down from ICU, and that's where you kind of start off for a couple days, and then they put you in, where I was actually staying, is the inpatient unit on the 7th floor. So I got to meet a lot of those nurses. Everyone was awesome. I mean, incredibly awesome. Even my roomie, oh my gosh, she must have been through the ringer from what I gather. She just, oh, that poor woman. So here I am crying like a baby over IVs, and I just feel horrible because I can guarantee she's got way worse on her agenda and way worse that she's been through, and I'm just like this baby crying. I didn't mean to. I like actually was apologizing and thanking them as I cried because it was just, I knew it was pathetic. But I don't know what it is. I can have a major injury on here where it's like needing to be reattached. Didn't cry. I was kind of like upset that I couldn't go to sleep though because it was pretty late at night. But with your, I don't know, needles in your like IV and stuff like that, it's just, that part hurts to me. It's weird. Anyway. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess, that I can think of. If I can think of more, I'll add it on, but yeah, so I got a lot of information. They keep telling me to really think it over, but it's the same information that I'd already looked at. So the surgeons kind of try to scare you away, and here's why. Their code of ethics basically is when they operate on someone, it's to make them healthy or improved in some way. So when they take a healthy person and all they can do basically is try not to hurt them too much. So having that in your mind when you're operating, kind of really nerve-wracking, right? So the one surgeon almost sounded like he was trying to talk me out of it because, well, anonymous is a little bit stranger than anything else. Oh, okay, here's another fact. So for the first 6 months, no contact. 6 months down the road, if both parties, donor and recipient, request it basically, they can have a meeting basically if they both requested it. I'm leaving mine open-ended. I'm going to leave it up to them because the last thing I would want is the recipient or the recipient's family to kind of meet me and always have in their mind what's the catch. I don't want that. So I don't want them to be uncomfortable, so I'm not gonna force an issue that's not necessary. So I'm okay with being unknown. That's okay with me. What I do want to do for anyone who contributes to the fundraiser or whatever, I want to have kind of like a scrapbook sort of deal. And I want people to write in it, but anonymously. Like, there can't be any identifiers in it. You can put like an initial if you want, but you could write a message, and it'll be kind of like a yearbook. So like everyone who contributes can do that. But I also want to have a guest book where you can actually write your name. So if this person decides they do want to know me, I can give them this guest book and they can see how many people actually contributed to them getting this liver. So I think that'd be pretty cool. So even if you like just gave me something to throw in a sale, or if you bought something for $1, you know what I mean? Like anything at all is contributing, right? So I want you to sign these things however you want. You could draw a little picture in the scrapbook, anything, just something to leave your mark, because I think that'd be pretty amazing for someone, because it's not just me. That's what I want that point to get across, that it's definitely not just me. It's a group, community. It's almost like we've sponsored someone, you know what I mean? So I think that'd be pretty neat. If it was me, I'd be like pretty amazed by that. So that would be really cool. And then hopefully one day, if they do decide to meet, then they'll know who you were. And yeah, that'd be pretty neat. I'm going to keep the vlog going. I may have, as we go on, I may have a little more, not necessarily graphic, but say if I have a picture of me afterwards, I'll try to put like warnings up before, but I'm going to be super tired after the surgery, so it might be a while before I post anything, before I'm feeling up to it. But yeah, it should, they tell me there's a few different ways to do the surgery. The incision will be either a straight line, like down to your belly button, or it can go down and then across like that to the right. The one surgeon said that it is possible that they could donate to an adult and still have the one incision there. And if they can't find a child for me, then I said that I am open to the idea of an adult too, so we'll see what happens. I do prefer a child, just because, you know, what child needs their life taken away? But again, could be a parent if it's an adult, right? So yeah, we'll just prioritize for that, and then I'm pretty sure they do anyway, just because. But also interesting fact, I didn't know this. When they took me for my MRI, they took me to Princess Margaret, Mount Sinai. They sound like they're the same place, but anyway, they took me there for the MRI. Here's what's weird. I thought I had to go outside. There's like underground tunnels connecting them all. I didn't know that. It was so cool. So I ended up going under it's like the old subway station place. So you like go down, there's like paint on the wall saying where you are. It's really interesting. So when I do this, if it does go to a child, the child's at Sick Kids, and they actually have someone run it over underground to Sick Kids Hospital. So I thought that was kind of interesting, because I'm imagining some Leslie Nielsen movie where they're running across the street and it's wintertime, they slip and like it lands on a bus and like drives away. I'm imagining that. Meanwhile, it's just like direct route underground, so they don't even have to go outside and wear a coat or anything. So awesome. I just thought that was really interesting. Okay. I don't know if they'll ever see it, but I need to say thank you to everybody who helped me out. They rearranged all their schedules to cram this all in like 2 days. It's unreal and unheard of. All this testing and all these meetings, they all just rearranged their entire schedules for me and to make it work for me so I don't have to keep driving down. So thank you everyone, surgeon, social worker, all the nurses that helped every single day. They were amazing people. They're so friendly. The transportation, okay? They have these people there that will literally wheel you to all your different appointments. I kept saying, I'm like, I can walk, and they're like, yeah, I know, it's okay, it's transportation. Anything medical, they'd take you down, but if it was a meeting, I was able to walk. Admissions, okay. I met this woman at admissions, Lisa, and she was amazing. We just hit it off so well. Had this like 45-minute to an hour conversation just about everything, and it was amazing. You just know when you get that connection with someone. It was amazing. It was so uplifting. So thank you, Lisa. I really can't wait to see you again. And oh, I got to see Sarah again. I got to see the psychologist. I really hit it off with her too. So when I was lost looking for Paul, the social worker, I went to Sarah's office. I'm like, Sarah, help me. Meanwhile, I'm in like hospital gown. She's like, nice outfit. It was so funny. So she's like, she brings me to Paul. She's like, she dresses like this all the time. And I had my fuzzy slippers and everything. It was awesome. Oh man, they're so funny there. Anyway, I'm gonna go get ready for my day. I hear people upstairs now, so maybe I won't be the only one awake. Yay! Alright, I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.